one of the things I think that could be a bit scary in business is if you put yourself out there and you make a commitment that you're going to show up and do a thing, and everyone is going to see if you do it or don't do it. And it can be scary. And I am going through that right now, and I want to share it with you. Hello, I'm Olivia D'Souza. I'm a multi-passionate entrepreneur. I'm a content and podcast expert. I support visionary entrepreneurs and leaders passionate about living with purpose. Join me as we explore podcasting, life, business, and authenticity. Subscribe for meaningful conversations with a business buddy who gets what it's like. Welcome to Magnetic Pod. I'm stepping in the next level me. I'm here to be everything I can be. So, today, I am inviting you to share the journey of Plan B with me because I sent an email to my email list just on Friday, and people are opening it over the weekend, and some people, replied to me and said, wow, this is exciting. And what that email was is that I announced that I was doing a daily podcast. So I'd been doing it for 2 weeks. When I say daily, it's Monday to Friday. I give myself some grace on the weekends. But I was kind of scared. Like I knew I wanted to do it, but I was scared to make the announcement because then I've said it out loud to people. It's not just posting things when I feel like it, but I've announced this is my thing. This is what I'm doing. And so I did it, and it's out there, and I've got replies from people. And how I'm managing it is that I batch record on a Monday. And I'm recording this right now on a Monday, obviously. And I had thought to myself, ideally, and this is what I advise, I've been recording 5 on a Monday and then spreading them out through the week. Now, I ideally advise people, and normally would do more than 5, like be at least 1 or 2 weeks ahead. But because it had been the school holidays and I'm human and I prioritize being with my kids, which I'm okay with that I was with my kids. I spent time on the business in as much as making sure that client commitments happened and all of that, but it's a different level to when they go back to school where I'm like, okay, all in, let's do this. So I was prepared to take a break for a while on some of the content creation stuff, but I really was burning to make up for it and really get some momentum and make a scary decision. And it was scary to announce 5 days a week. But I went, I'm doing it. And I kind of like the fear around it. I like being accountable, but because I didn't want to wait any longer to get some fresh content out there, I just did 5 and published it that week instead of having a bank of a couple of weeks worth or so. And my plan was actually today to record more than 5 and start and work my way towards getting ahead of the game. That was my plan. But does life happen as plans? No, it does not. My daughter, who unfortunately has asthma, and when she catches a cold, she can go downhill pretty quickly. I ended up in hospital with her overnight, and Monday is shot. And I got 3.5 hours sleep. My brain currently is very foggy, and I don't think I'm going to get more than 1 podcast episode done. And good luck if this is any good, because my brain is so foggy at the moment. The idea of batch recording and articulating my ideas for any more podcasts is really hard. But isn't it funny that it happened? I mean, not that it happened because of the announcement, because I'm sure, my daughter's health is not related to my business and my announcements, but it is funny that it happened just straight after I'd announced it officially out loud to people. Yes, I'm doing a daily podcast. Expect it to be published on Monday. And I'm like, shit, I've got to get in there and record it. And you know what? I kind of like, even though it's scary, I like it. It's a good kind of scary. I like that I'm committed to it. It's like it's an identity thing. And I think that's where we can get some satisfaction from and start to make traction, is when we see it as a normal thing that we do, and then and it's a priority and it's a baseline, it's a minimum requirement. Oh my God, but I am so brain foggy. This is so hard, but I like that it's hard. And so this is my invitation for you to join me with my plan B, and for you to give yourself grace when things don't go to plan, and embrace the plan B and embrace the mess. So I'm going to get a podcast out every day this week. I think I'm only going to get the one done today. I'm thinking tomorrow I'll get up early. I put my back, I straighten my back. Normally I get up early, like about 5:15, hang out with my husband for a little bit before he goes to work at 5:30. And then after that I do a workout, and that's how I get my exercise in. I'm thinking what I will do tomorrow is, my back is a bit out, a little bit tender and sore since my weightlifting session on Friday. So I think I might give myself a break from doing a workout, and actually, as long as I get a good night's sleep, which, dear God, please, I'm so in need of sleep. I'm a zombie right now. I'll get up early and hopefully get a few more than the minimum amount of podcast episodes recorded in the morning. And then I've got an interview that I'm doing on Wednesday, so that'll give me more content. And my episodes are short anyway, so I will get through and I will do it. But this is my minimum and this is my commitment. So yeah, it feels good to me to have a belief in myself that even when things don't go to plan, and even when, things like this happen, that I will do my best. I will get a podcast done every day. I can't absolutely, to be honest, promise that it will happen, because the reason I can do this right now is because my husband took the day off and is home. And if it was just me with her, then I wouldn't be able to, unless she fell asleep or something. So, there are a certain amount of things where you need support, or, you need certain things to happen. So, but I just do want to know that I've done everything I can, and to not make excuses. But if there's a real reason where I can't, then that's life. But it makes me feel good about myself that I made the commitment, that I made an announcement, that things didn't go to plan. And I should actually, and I've just casually mentioned she went to hospital, like that's no big deal. You might be going, who cares about your podcast? How's your daughter? I have brain fog, and so that it's not because I don't care about her. It's because I'm too foggy to think about, because I know she's good. I know she's well, that I forget to let you know. So I'm sorry if you were there going, hey, who cares about your podcast? How's your daughter, for heaven's sake? She's good. She's really good. Yeah, she unfortunately gets asthma when she gets a cold. The usual treatments of a burst of Ventolin and things that we do weren't enough, and she needed some intravenous medication and a stay overnight and monitoring and all of the things. But oh my God, side note from my content creation and keeping your commitment things, we are so lucky. We are so lucky to be, well, I don't know where you are if you're listening to this, but I am lucky to be in Australia where I didn't have to pay for that. That's a public system. She could have. These things are not serious because we have the great health system that gets her healthy. But my God, if she didn't have that system and we didn't have access to it, it could be a very tragic story in my life. So, and as I think of this, and as I was in the hospital thinking about what amazing care I was getting, I was thinking about the children in Palestine who are getting their trigger warning. But if you can't listen to this, people are living through it. But yeah, I won't say it explicitly, but they are not getting the care they need. And if there's anything you can do to raise your voice and to let people in politics know, how, if you support people not being wiped out, then, I urge you to do what you can to be on the right side of history, because, I think back to the Holocaust and how people's narrative of what they think is happening and why they blasé and why it's allowed is because of propaganda and so forth. So I'm going on a tangent, but I hate I hate talking about things that don't matter as much. I hate not knowing that I could have done more or said something. So even if it's uncomfortable and even if it's not good for my podcast, if I think of it, even if it's on a side tangent, I'm going to mention it, whether you like it or not. Sorry. Sorry, not sorry. Oh my God, that got heavy. So I was talking about making a commitment. I'm lucky enough to live in this country where I can concentrate on my business and record podcasts and talk about things like living your best life and making a commitment. And so my commitment is to keep showing up this week. I invite you to come along on the journey with me. The reason I kind of want to do it daily is because I want to create content that educates, but also entertains. And I don't mean I'm like entertaining, some people are going to like it, some people aren't. I'm not going to be entertaining in terms of, putting on a show or, I don't have the time to try to craft some sort of scripted storyline, yada, yada. But I know for myself, I like listening to people where I get to know them. I like to learn things, but I don't want to be educated all the time. I want to have a relationship with somebody. I want to get to know them. I want to know what they care about, what they're passionate about, what makes them laugh. I want to connect to a certain energy. And so I create for someone like me. And I know that you're supposed to create for your listener and for them. And I hope that I do that. And, I can think about things like pain points and, what's going to solve your problems. And I'll create content to help people with things that will hopefully help them. But if I share myself and share my story, then I think we see ourselves in other people. And the people that don't see themselves in me are not going to be my people, I guess. But the reason I'm to get on track, which I'm going to find very difficult today because I am so foggy, I need to sleep, is I want people to see multiple, all sides of me. If I create a weekly podcast, especially after having a break, I was feeling like it's too slow for people for me to get all the different types of content out there that I want to get out there, because I want to be able to have educational content that talks about like practical things that you'll need to know about podcasts or developments and changes and all of that sort of stuff. But I also want to create stuff that is a bit deep and meaningful and stuff that I care about, and maybe some observations about what I see going on in the world and some interviews. So I want to do more stuff. And so by doing a daily podcast, that gives me so much scope for being able to do more different types of content and have a deeper, richer variety of content. My goodness, so many tangents. So I might tie it up with a bow there somehow and just say thank you for coming along on the journey with me. Hit subscribe. Let's connect. And let me know what you want to hear about. If you want to reach out to me, it's Livy Music Media, LIVVI Music Media. It's with the handle Livy Music Media on Instagram. Or you can just send me an email at livy@livymusic.com, and I will see you in the next one. I'm off to have a nap. Bye. I'm stepping in the next level me. I'm here to be everything I can be. Like a snake, I'm shedding my skin to be my wild next level me. I'm stepping in the next level me. I'm here to be everything I can be. Give you whiplash when you turn around and see me go again. Next level me. It's time to be. Hello, it's Livy here. Have you ever wondered about what the key elements are that make a podcast truly stand out? Or maybe you're thinking about starting your own special podcast and feel a bit overwhelmed and don't know where to start. Well, I have something for you. Introducing the ultimate podcast checklist. Da, 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 da. It's a step-by-step guide that covers everything from the initial brainstorming to advanced growth strategies. It's the perfect companion for both new and seasoned podcasters. And the best part, it's absolutely free. Da, 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 da. To grab your copy, simply head to the show notes of this episode and you will find a direct link there, and then away you go. Remember, every podcast started with that initial spark and the right resource, so let the ultimate podcasting checklist be yours.